Welcome to the Apocalypse stream. How's everyone doing? Thank you for joining. Hello. I'm going to do a quick stream because I want to go out on a run before Thanksgiving. Um, but I want. Hey, Invalid, what's up? Les Bones, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. I want to first do a quick LaJuan James, what's going on, man? Welcome to the channel. Um, so if you guys saw my stream on Friday, it's quite eventful. I was streaming from Oakland City Hall and the Oakland Federal Building on Friday for protest slash rally, more of a rally, in response to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. That post that stream went pretty viral, I would say. I have over 3,000 views on it. There was hundreds of chatbots in the hello, Janine Layla. How's it going? I hope your drive home is going well. But yeah, that stream went viral. It was shared a lot of times on Twitter, and yeah, I did not expect that many views on it. It's every day it's increasing. There was a lot of dislikes on there. There was tons of trolls in the chat, and I've never experienced any of that being a small channel, but it's pretty interesting. Overall, what happened was there was a rally. It was peaceful. Obviously, I was expecting some craziness, but it was pretty peaceful. I think it was organized by several people, local Bay Area activists slash groups. And if you go through the stream, you could it's an hour and a half, I think, that I was streaming for, but you can go by and see all the names. I'll try to get some of these people to join the channel a little bit, maybe after the holidays, once I start interviewing people for this channel. But there is a bunch of interesting people there, very passionate people. So we'll see what local Bay Area activists have to say about all the things that they were talking about, which were about injustice in the legal system here and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, if anyone was offended by some of these trolls in the chat, just want to apologize on behalf of them. And maybe I need to think about getting moderators. So we'll see if that happens again on this channel. If it does, yeah, I'm going to need to get some moderators. So if you're willing to be a moderator, and I can figure out how to do that, I will greatly appreciate your help. But anyways, so I wanted to talk about a rise in theft in the United States, using some Bay Area examples to show you. So let me go ahead and get started with an article from the SF Chronicle. All right. One garage, 2 days, 9 break-ins, SF surge in burglaries is driving residents hopping mad. I think it's kind of funny. First off, before I get into this article, the photo shoot done by let's see, Yolanda James of the Chronicle did a little photo shoot with a victim of a burglary in the Mission district. But check out this photo shoot. Like, check out this photo shoot. How crazy is it that you've been robbed, your stuff has been taken, and the Chronicle is like, the lighting's really great here. Let's do a quick photo shoot, and you can use these on your Instagram and all that stuff. So it's just funny how Jenna Smith, who, I'm sorry you got your stuff stolen. I've had my stuff stolen in San Francisco. Maybe I can try to surface my bike being stolen from my work. It was caught on an S cam. This is in 2018, but I definitely feel you. I've had my bike stolen from the garage of my work. Um, I've had my car broken in countless times in the Bay Area. This is nothing new, but we are seeing a rise in my, uh, you know, getting your car broken into in San Francisco Bay Area is pretty common. It happens to everybody. But let's see. Jenna Smith was in Chicago last month attending her grandmother's funeral. Unfortunate. And her boyfriend began scrolling through home security footage on his phone. Suddenly, he noticed a figure that didn't belong there. Someone had broken into the garage in their Mission District apartment building. The man, or somebody who resembled him, broke in 9 times in 2 days. So within 2 days, this guy breaks into the garage 9 times in this particular story. And he did it on on a Lime scooter. How apocalyptic and end of a late, kind of like just defines late stage capitalism. Somebody rented a Lime scooter to go rob somebody else 9 times, all while this is being documented and recorded. So so I'm sure you can see. I'm sure the police are probably going to catch this guy. I mean, they probably won't because the police don't do anything when your stuff is stolen. Um, but it's just funny that somebody's robbing people in San Francisco on a Lime scooter. Um, okay, so here's some increases tracking burglaries in San Francisco, comparing San Francisco's year-to-date reports of burglary in 2001 and 2020 shows a citywide decrease of a decrease. Okay, well, there's a decrease in like the nicer parts of the city, but in the Mission, there's a rise of 14%. In the Bayview, 13% rise. Ingleside, 12% rise. Tarville, 47% rise. In the Richmond district, 11% rise in burglaries. Basically, all of the nice parts of San Francisco, though, have seen a decrease in crime compared to 2020. Um, that's interesting, but not interesting because these are the districts that Nancy Pelosi represents more: the Northern District, Central, Southern, Park, like the nice side of San Francisco. More police. So let's see. These increases probably driven by, okay, the San Francisco Chronicle says that these increases are driven probably by behavioral changes induced by the coronavirus pandemic. I don't think so. Um, it's not due to the pandemic. It's due to no one having a job, inflation, and the system. and the system that's involved in all of this. Let's see. As of November 14th, the San Francisco Department cleared 10% of the burglary cases presented this year, meaning it closed a criminal case. Blah blah blah. These they are hard crimes to solve. Lieutenant Scott Ryan, who heads the burglary detail for the San Francisco Police Department's major crime unit, told the Chronicle, "Police try to focus the resources on chronic offenders," he said, on the theory that if they build a case against somebody for one or two burglaries, that person might be responsible for dozens more. In some instances, he says the burglary rate for a neighborhood abruptly goes down right after the police put a serial offender in jail. Uh, The widespread adoption of inexpensive home security technology has increased the visibility of the break-ins. With the near ubiquity of cameras, it's become easy to record incidents, broadcast them on social media, and see them ricochet around the internet. This is what I'm going to show you in the next couple examples. Smith's security cameras allowed her to watch her home being ransacked in real time. I definitely know the feeling of watching your stuff be stolen when you can see it on the Nest Cam. And then giving that to police and then being able to do nothing or just file it away and not care anything about it. The rest of this article is basically detailing this particular crime and crime here, burglary crime in San Francisco. But I wanted to share a couple examples that are well, let me share another article really quick and then I'll go to the examples. MSN article here by Faith Karimi of CNN. Smash and grab crimes, why some U.S. cities are seeing a spree. A wave of smash and grab crimes is plaguing upscale stores in major U.S. cities, with mobs of thieves making off with expensive goods in brazen nighttime raids. Here's a photo of a raid in the Louis Vuitton store in Oak Brook, Illinois. At least 18 people broke into a Nordstrom department store in Los Angeles Monday night and stole thousands of dollars of merchandise. This was this Monday. Okay. Walnut Creek, a neighborhood city here in San Francisco. The Nordstrom was robbed on Saturday. Okay, at that Louis Vuitton store in Chicago last week, over $100,000 worth of handbags and other merchandise was stolen from that Louis Vuitton store. So here's what CNN reporter Faith Cremini is saying. So why so many recent incidents? Are they linked to the holiday season? Is it pandemic restlessness? It has nothing to do with the pandemic, said Pete Elitis, a former law enforcement officer and founder of security company Intelligence Consulting Partners. The pandemic is overused at this point, but security experts cite a mixture of several other factors. Such crime aren't always a priority for law enforcement. So this is true. In San Francisco, in particular, you could report something being stolen, and they won't even come to your house to do a police report. You can't even go to the stations to file a police report in San Francisco. They tell you to visit their website and do it themselves. and do it your own self. And you get like a response, a generic response saying, thank you for filing your police report, and you never hear from them again. So good luck getting any help. So here's the reasons that CNN says that are for the reasons for the rise in crime around the United States, in burglary crime. Not a priority for law enforcement. Thieves may face few consequences. Now, for example, Proposition 47, a California ballot initiative passed in 2014, sought to alleviate prison overcrowding by reducing the penalties for some crimes. The measure raised the threshold for felony theft from $500 to $950. I can definitely attest to this. When I used to work at Target, and I think I did a stream about this, and I've mentioned this already, but I used to work at Target in the fall of 2008. Again, this is during the 2008 recession. People used to go into the Target and steal all sorts of things. And the security and the staff at that Target that I worked at would say, just let them take whatever. As soon as they pass a certain threshold, then it's a grand theft and blah, blah, blah. But basically, like, you can steal whatever you want in California, at least, and up to now $950 worth of merchandise, nothing really happens to you. That doesn't really mean much when you're stealing, handbags that are like $10,000 each, I would say, from like a Gucci store. But the holidays provide more opportunities for theft, says CNN. It's not unusual for smash and grabs to increase around the Christmas holiday season. Stores stock up before the holidays, which means there's bounty of merchandise to pick from. This means more opportunities and more convenience with smash and grabbers. Okay. There are numerous places to sell stolen items. So it is incredibly easy to sell stolen merchandise online through e-commerce platforms. Buell said, e-commerce has really taken off as a place to sell stolen goods. Other thieves don't need to sell their stolen goods on Craigslist or eBay. They can use flea markets, pawn shops, and street vendors. Thieves can sell expensive items at slash prices, meaning there's no shortage of buyers. The result is a ruthless cycle that affects everybody. Okay, I think I skipped something up here. Janine Layla says, burglars know the cops won't do anything regardless of footage. So what's really to stop them? Facts. So in this article too, I can't really find it right now. Okay, so many store thieves wear masks or hoods, making them difficult to identify, even when they're spotted on security cameras. Probably wearing masks right now. Also, let's see. There's something about in this article that says that there's like no serial numbers on a lot of things, so it's very hard to trace. Like a thing like a handbag. So these are the kind of things that they steal. But basically, MSN or CNN, yeah, Faith Karimi of CNN 2 hours ago, when she wrote this article, is saying, hey, crime is rising because it's the holiday season. And crimes like these aren't a priority for law enforcement. And thieves face few consequences. And what else? There's so many places to sell the items. No. The rise in crime like this is due to a failing economic system. A failed state is the reason for the rise in crime. As this article of, let me bring up this Chronicle article again. It strictly cites or says that over the last 10 years, crime has actually declined. Let me find that specific place that it says that. Across California, burglaries declined over the past decade from a peak of more than 240,000 in 2012 to fewer than 150,000 last year, according to FBI data. So what happened in the last 10 years? In the last 10 years, in 2008, like I was mentioning and following, there was a Great Recession. Crime rised in 2008 and after because the government of the United States failed to provide for its people, protect the people, keep people in jobs, keep people housed. They bailed out the banks and did nothing for the people. Now, last year during the pandemic, the government allowed that to happen again. And CNN is blaming that police don't prioritize these kinds of crimes and that places like eBay make it easier to sell things online that you steal. LaJuan James is saying, even though not everyone has a solution, we should try to come up with a solution. Yeah. What can a solution be to crime? Let me pull up one other article of a different kind of crime. People not stealing Louis Vuitton bags. And expensive jewelry, things like that they can sell. This article is from Canada. Theft is on the rise as prices climb. Now, when people are stealing because they're hungry, there's probably a problem. And it's not that you can sell food on eBay, which you can, I think, packaged food. I know that people sell like novelty, limited edition Mountain Dews and things like that on eBay. But I don't think people are selling lettuce and baby formula on eBay. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the number one most shoplifted item in the United States is baby formula. I don't think that happens in Cuba. Okay, but let's see. From netnewsledger.com, an article by Professor Sylvain Charleboux, it's a French name, I can't pronounce it, of Dalhousie University. Shoplifting has been on the rise in Canadian supermarkets in recent months, and ultimately that costs us all. Concrete data on theft in grocery stores is difficult to get since incidents are typically underreported. Managers tend to take matters into their own hands. But with the increasing number of reports of theft and security guards stationed inside and outside of grocery stores, things are likely more complicated than we're aware of. According to anecdotal estimates, the number of thefts has increased by 25 to 40% in just the last 6 months. A mid-sized grocery store can easily catch 10 to 12 shoplifters a week. The cost of living and the price of food are enticing some people to find other ways to obtain supplies. The most coveted items in supermarkets include meat, such as ground beef, steaks, sausages, and roasts, cheese, spices, over the counter medicines, energy drinks, and alcohol are also targets in provinces where beer, wine, and spirits are sold in grocery stores. Some people can steal up to $300 worth of products from multiple locations in a single day. In addition, some employees may act as accomplices in internal thefts, either in the warehouse or at the back of the store before the products are even on the shelves. On average, in Canada, every grocery store loses $3,000 to $400 worth of stolen groceries per week. They call that shrink. I used to work at Whole Foods in 2014 and 15. For every 500 supermarkets that are open, that open their doors every morning in Canada, the food in the equivalent of 9 will be free that day due to theft. That's a lot of food. So, this Canadian article is saying that people are stealing more from grocery stores, but this is because of food inflation, which I'm not going to argue with. But why is there inflation? Again, it comes down to what's up, Purikan? Purukan says, my boy, spitting facts. So not only are people stealing food, it is the increase of food theft on the rise in Canada, but in the United States as well. You can see there's been, over the pandemic, videos that have gone viral of people trying to dumpster dive in Fred Meyer's grocery stores, locking things up. There's a viral video. I couldn't find it to show in this broadcast, but there was a viral video on Instagram or Twitter maybe of people stuffing or grabbing laundry detergent and milk and throwing it into vans and driving off with it. So people are desperate to feed themselves, to sell these everyday items that people should have access to fucking laundry detergent and milk. And we shouldn't be stealing things. We shouldn't have a need to steal things. But why are people stealing things? It's because the government is failing us in the United States. People don't steal in Cuba, guys. People don't. People do steal in Cuba, and people do steal everywhere. But people, let me share some of these things that I want to show you. Some of these like videos. Hold up. Invalid says people need food and capitalism makes food scarce. We know what the problem is and now we need to fix it. 100%. Food is thrown away. 40% of our food is thrown away. Food waste is what radicalized me. Once I figured out that businesses rather throw away food than make sure it gets to people in need, kind of knew that this system was broken, the system being capitalism. And I've been, doing my small part to change that ever since. What that small part is, well, I have a YouTube channel. Radical leftist agenda, how's it going? Sorry, I was making food. Right on theme here. Okay, so let me share some of these videos I saw. Maybe you have seen some other things go viral as far as like theft videos, but let's see some of these. First, let's go with a recent burglary that happened in Union Square in San Francisco. It's actually kind of funny. De Juan Carlitos Way on Twitter said Louis Vuitton in San Francisco Union Square got cleared out. Hang on, is this playing? Hang on, guys. Every time I'm trying to share on a Twitter video, it has loading issues. Let me try to refresh.
Two masks.
Dang it, I want to hear the sound. Come on. All right, I'm going to let that one load. Let me go to a different video. All right, so this page is Jackfruit News on Instagram. So let's see the Lululemon store in San Jose get robbed. People need their yoga
The
pants.
Lululemon store in Santana Row around 6:30 last night. They took around $40,000 worth of merchandise. They were gone before police got there. At the same time, police believe they thwarted another robbery at Valley Fair. Police say several cars with their license plates concealed had gathered. A security guard noticed what was going on and called police. The group dispersed.
Man, something's up with the internet, guys. Sorry, the videos aren't loading. But yeah, they're stealing yoga pants out here in San Francisco. What kind of sick world are we in? Here's another So that was Southland Mall is in Hayward, which is where city I used to live in. I've seen this Sam's Jewelry before. It's just a small little jewelry store, and it's sad that these people are stealing from like a small business. But I've had a conversation. So one of my friends shared this video who I went to school with, and her response was to this video. Play it again. Her response to this video was fucking losers, and I had to explain to her, which I think when most people see, these are probably conservatives and shit libs. They see people stealing and they're like, oh, degenerate people. These people stealing, they're not stealing because they want to, or they don't want to be thieves. they're stealing because they have bills to pay. They're in debt. They've probably been unable to get a job for some reason. They're hungry. They're trying to provide for their families, and it's unfortunate that they have to steal, but it's also um, you know in Aladdin steals bread because he can't afford to eat. um, so that's when you have to like kind of talk to people and say like it's not their it's unfortunate that people will call thieves losers. And I think if you're stealing because you want to steal, that's different. But if you're stealing out of necessity to feed your family and to provide to your family, like I can understand that, and that's a system that's failed, in my opinion. Southland Mall is always sketch, fam. They need to. All right, Prukan says Southland Mall is always sketch. I could agree, it's sketch, especially the Buffalo Wild Wings at Southland Mall. Radical Leftist Agenda says they need to steal at Walmart. Yep, that's that's exactly what I told my friend who shared this video with me. Is that it's unfortunate that they stole Sam's jewelry. They should have went to I don't know what's a jewelry store. I don't buy jewelry. Uh, De Beers. I don't know. Steal jewelry from like Macy's or something. Don't steal from a small business owner. That's sad. But again, these people aren't really thinking. Um, yeah, there is a video of people stealing groceries, and I can't find it. But oh, here's another one. Gone in 30 seconds. Retail robbers pull brazen bag heist in Louis Vuitton store. Let's check it out. Quick. It's actually kind of funny. Janine Layla says, I agree. I agree with this. It's the system that's failed its citizen, unfortunately. And the more people rise up, the more we are silenced. Yeah. Let's see this. Is this. Oh, okay, that's not related to thefts. Maybe this video has loaded. Hopefully, okay. One last thing I just want to show is this video from Twitter that wasn't loading. And then I'm going to get on with the rest of my night. Hopefully it loads.
Caught in 4K. Motherfuckers caught in 4K. He's got 2 masks.
Okay, so these people that run up are the cops, and thankfully they don't shoot anybody, but they do use their batons to smash every single window of this getaway car and pull out the driver and arrest him. So that's really all I wanted to shame about. There's been a rise of crimes. It's because the system is failing us in real time, and people cannot afford to feed their families, pay their mortgages, pay their rent. Thank you, Joe Biden and the squad, for kicking people or doing nothing to make sure that people aren't kicked out of their homes. And now, because of your policies, of Democratic policies, Republican policies, we have a rise in crime. And we are seeing people steal food in the United States, steal baby formula in the United States, while socialist countries like Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, all these people, all these countries, all these socialist countries make sure that their people have food. Everyone is given a ration card in Cuba, but that's basic necessities that the government is providing. Rice, beans, chicken, everyone is guaranteed a basic necessity of food. This isn't all the food people get. That's the common talking point that people say when they talk about socialism. Well, you only get 4 potatoes a month. No, the government is providing you at least 4 potatoes for the month, at least a pound of rice every month, 4 chickens a month, at the very least, so you don't starve to death. Housing, so you don't wind up on the street. A basic income, so you have income to buy other things. So what we're seeing is a failure of the state, a failed state. The United States is a failed state. And because of this, as I mentioned and as I pointed out, theft was on a decline in the United States for the last decade. Now, it was on a rise because of the Great Recession in 2008. We started getting better, crime went down. Now crime is back up because we're experiencing the failure of capitalism again. Every 10 years, capitalism fails. And our government bails out the people on the top. Would that satisfy everybody? Lawan James. I'm thinking what you're talking about here, and please comment if I'm getting your statement here wrong. But are you talking about would that satisfy everyone though? So are you talking about basic food, like a food package every month? I'm all production and distribution to be determined by the government. Would that satisfy everyone? So you're thinking of socialism or communism in like a black and white kind of thought. If we're experiencing like 100% capitalism right now and it's failing, if you switch that over to 100% communism where the government controls every single thing, then that's not good either, because yes, you can plan for the next 10 years production and you'll see an increase in population or something, and then, yeah, there's going to be like food lines too. So we have to find some common ground. But what we're saying, what I am saying is that everyone should be given the basic necessities, a food box. We already have that. People who can't afford to eat right now are going to the food bank every month or every week and getting their 1 bag of groceries or 2 bag of groceries because they can't provide for themselves because the system has failed us. So we're already seeing that. But what if we don't have to rely on food banks anymore? Or what if food banks' main job was to make sure everyone had food, not just the people who get to visit the food banks? Because most food banks are located in an area of the city where there's a lack of transportation there. So the bus route doesn't go to the warehouse area where the food bank is at. It never does. There's never buses that take you there. Or the food bank closes at 5 o'clock. Most people are working up until, people work 3 or 4 jobs now. So when can you access the food bank? Probably never. Actually, in my experience working in food banks, food bank cannot reach people because it has hours and all this stuff. So, but Juan, what you're talking about is an extreme in the other way, and I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't suggest that because I think you're right. We need to find some common middle ground and then a mixture. All right, everyone. That's the broadcast today. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you didn't have to steal your food, steal your turkey. Although there is a poultry shortage, so hopefully you do have turkey in the United States this year. One comment from Janine Layla. In addition, think about all the food that is wasted each year. It's not that the U.S. doesn't have access, it's that they create laws and blockers that prioritize greed over distribution of food. 100%. I couldn't agree more. It is in. Here's a sick thing. Here's a real sick thing. But corporations are writing off their donations, but just throw away their food. And I can be an example of this because I used to work at Whole Foods, and there's a donation credit where they scan everything out and they still throw away food. At Walmart, they are receiving a donation saying that they're throwing away food, but they have no one coming at the end of the day to pick up the food because they rely on a nonprofit to do that. And nonprofits are, you know, most of them are underfunded. Most of them rely on volunteers. Volunteers can't always, like, volunteers have jobs and have mortgages and things like that and bills to pay for. You can't always have a volunteer pick up the excess food and then drive it to a church that's going to be closed because that's a church food bank because that runs on volunteers. So the system needs to be recreated, and we can create a lot of jobs. People are moving excess food from point A to point B. But yes, 40% of the food is wasted, and it's cheaper for a corporation to just throw it away than to figure out the logistics and getting it to people who can eat it. So, anyways, happy Thanksgiving. And just wanted to say that critical thinking is a revolutionary act, and always think critically, even to this stream.